But now, since EastEnders' Tanya has entered the square as part of the Branning clan, she's been dealt her fair share of knocks with deception, dirty dealings and adultery, all part of her daily life. Recently, though, following the news that she's been diagnosed with cancer, Tanya's life has become even more of a challenge than usual.
I am warning you. Will you keep your mouth shut?
No, I can't. I can't.
I warned you! I warned you! Just come on, get out! Get out of my house! I don't want to see you! I don't want to see your face anymore! I don't want you anywhere near me! Right, you. Get in. Get upstairs. No, get off her! Get
You need to calm down.
Don't you get involved. In fact, all of you, get out! You Abby, take her, take your nan, take everybody! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Mum's got cancer.
Please welcome Jo Joyner. Hello, lady.
Really got cancer.
Wow.
Just pretend.
It's pretty full on, your storyline at the moment, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Well, that was about 2 months ago, so it's a little bit calmer at the moment. But yeah, it was, it's all a bit dramatic, wasn't it?
How did you feel to be portraying someone who's been diagnosed with cancer but isn't reacting to it in the way that you would normally see on television? In that normally people are seen as being very brave.
Yeah.
She's dealing with it in her own unique way.
She really is. She's kind of dealing it in a way that I think I would never deal with it, but who knows what we would react like. And it will come out over the next couple of days exactly why she's got such a deep-seated fear about it all and what her connections are with it. But yeah, it's very difficult because you're reading things like going, poor Lauren, she's only telling Lauren, well, who's Lauren going to confide in? What a terrible mother, why is she doing this? And then you've got to try and justify it for yourself because you're going to do it, you know.
When you do a big storyline in a soap, as obviously I know as well, you sometimes feel completely responsible for
a very responsible,
you know, it's very tricky. You've got to do it really well, haven't you? Because a lot of people out there going, that's me, that's me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you can only really tell one person's story. There's always going to be some people who will go, well, when I had chemo, I never did that. And there are some people that are going to, you've missed this out. But I do take it very seriously. You know, I looked at the particular treatment for this particular cancer as well, because they're all very different, you know, and they all affect you in very different ways. And I kind of try every day when I'm doing stuff to make sure that she's eating the things that she would be eating on that, you know, because they'll kind of just put in the script. She goes and she sits down and has a coffee, and I think I know anybody who's having cervical cancer treatment would not be drinking anything like that, and you know.
And what's been your general response to the, not your response, sorry, the public's response? Because you mentioned that some people might say, oh, that's not how I handled it, or what have you. Has the general response been positive, or have people thought, what?
Yeah, the general response has been positive, definitely. And in fact, I have met somebody whose mother confided just in them, actually. And, you know, it's interesting that, you know, what you find and how that affected. I could see that he'd had great comfort in that, actually, that he'd felt very useful. You know, because a lot of people, when you're around somebody that you love like this, who's suffering, it's very difficult for everybody around them as well, isn't it? Because you don't know how you can help them, what you can do. You feel useless, don't you?
And speaking of people around them, Max. What's going on?
What is going on? Oh, dear. Well, how would she survive without him? Seriously. He's a man, after all. He is back, and so obviously everything will be fine now. No, we'll wait and see. I don't know. Will she have him back? Will she, you know, will she want him back? Will he want her? It's a very different situation now.
Something I read that you'd said was that you'd done a lot of research, obviously, in talking to people who'd got cervical cancer, and somebody had said to you, the last thing I want is to see Tanya being brave, because there's nothing brave about cancer.
Or too brave,
Or too brave, which I thought she wanted you to show, which you obviously are doing, to show the other side.
Yeah, what she said, actually, was really profound. She said, obviously, it's very brave going through all the treatment for it, but she'd said, you know, you've got two options. You have the treatment and probably don't die, and you don't have the treatment, you probably do die. She said, there is no choice there. It's like, you know, let's not pretend that you've got this wealth of choices about it, and that you're being brave. You've got no other choice but to be brave, actually. You know?
How are you coping? I mean, obviously, three of us have been in soap operas and know what the ridiculously gruelling schedules are. But as the mum to two-year-old twins, how are you coping with that?
Jo really helped me.
Twin gang.
Yeah.
Jason
fact,
Manford's
the
got
last
them as
time
well.
us three were in the room, Jason, Sally and I, Jason was either just about to have his twins.
Yeah.
I knew I was pregnant but couldn't tell anyone that I was pregnant with twins.
And I was
Sally
pregnant,
yeah, so we were all...
So
yeah.
how are you
How do you
coping?
cope?
I don't
can't
really
imagine.
know. Well, I've got a fantastic husband who does a lot of the coping for me, really, actually.
And he's an actor as well, isn't
He's
he?
an actor, and he's been, you know, in between work, he's been the main carer, actually, and we moved nearer work very early on when I went back to work. I thought, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. I was sometimes doing 12-hour days and 4 hours of driving either side and never seeing them. So we've moved recently, and that's really made a difference. And
you get your
somehow
weekends
you
with
just
them,
do it,
yeah.
don't you?
You just get on with it,
And it's
really.
worth it, because they're at... I mean, they're nearly 2. They're 2 in a couple of weeks, and they're just brilliant.
I know, they are, they're
And
great.
what about his space? Do you have your own space?
Do you know, as I
The
said
twins have all the
earlier,
space.
They have
they do.
every space,
Yeah.
every inch and every space. The poor guy hasn't. No, he's got no.
got a
Maybe a
drum
little
room.
bit of the sofa. Not even the best bit of the sofa.
Can I just explain that my partner is a drummer? He's not just built it. He sounds like he's got this playroom. He's got my drums in there. He does it for a living, you know. It sounds terrible, yeah.
So no plans for a shed at the bottom of the garden then?
Oh, he has in our home
Yeah.
that we moved from. Pride and joy, the biggest shed we could possibly fit, and oh God, what is it with men and sheds? Well, I have no idea, but he loves a shed.
Well, good luck with the grueling schedule. And with the, you know, fitting it all in with the twins. We're really enjoying the storyline at the moment, and it's lovely to see you.
Thanks
Last time
for
we saw you was
having
as a
me.
loose lady.
Yeah.
It's Jo Joyner, everyone. Woo!